tuning in to the Tiffany Michelle Speak Show. So tonight we're going to be talking about the latest R. Kelly scandal, Kevin Hart, if he cheated, or was it just an innocent encounter, as well as do you believe that once a cheater, always a cheater? Hey, Latoya. So tonight it's just me. We're hanging out in the city. We're at Nation, grabbing a burger. It's Burger Week in Cincinnati, and they're having the Frisco burger. So, what? Terrence just said, no, I'm not.
It's $10 if you take it out.
$10 if you take it out?
I should have got a brisket burger.
Brisket burger. From Nation?
But I just got a grilled cheese sandwich.
Y'all, that's the shame. Oh, well, we'll just go back in there a little bit later. But it was so noisy. We try to check the sound in there, even with the mic, it was just really, really noisy. So tonight, like I said, we're going to be talking about the latest, the R. Kelly scandal, as well as the Kevin Hart. It's like yesterday, it was reported on Radar that Kevin Hart was seen at 5 a.m. at a hotel in his car, a little too close for comfort, with a young lady that did not or was not his wife. His wife is at home and pregnant. So I want to get your take on that. I've kind of put some fillers out there, and some people were like, he didn't cheat. It was just, they were just in the car having a conversation. Leave Kells, he is a genius. Oh, leave R. Kelly alone, he's a genius. Okay, Greg. Okay. So if you're tuning in, share the video. We're gonna talk about it tonight. There's been a lot of stuff going on this week, and I'm just so glad to be on with you all tonight. So, like I said, we're out. You see me out. We're on, what street is this? Broadway Street. Broadway Street in OTR. 12th Street in OTR. 12th and Broadway. So, come down to Nation and get a grilled cheese sandwich or get a Frisco burger and come out and see me. But anyway, so and then the whole R. Kelly scandal, which a lot of people, yes, Latoya, a lot of people are saying that he is a creep. It was reported by a young lady's parents that he is holding her against her will as a sex slave. And I'm not sure how true it is that he's holding her against her will, because, whether or not we recognize or agree with what's going on, she is an adult, but that does not mean that there's no abuse happening. Okay, no mental abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse. Something does seem fishy about that situation. The parents allowed her to go with him, is what I gathered from some of the reports. And then now recently her sister has come out with a diss track. So this is all a little bit strange. And then the young lady that was with them, who said she was a sex slave of R. Kelly's a few years ago, she said she knew about this, there being different houses where there were sex slaves, and she happened to be at one that was not too far, but she didn't know the address.
Actually, I don't think
it was quite
young
odd
come out
to me how, okay, if you don't know the address, but you know it's close by. So that, like I said, that to me was really, really odd. So we're going to talk about it all tonight. And do you believe in the whole issue that comes up with Kevin Hart is once a cheater, always a cheater? Do you believe that to be true? That, he cheated on his wife with the Nico, who is now his current wife. So do you believe in that karma? That, however you get them, that's how you lose them? So I don't know. I want to hear from you guys tonight, and I'm going to read your comments live. It says, author Michael Pearson, what if all this stuff is just publicity stunt for his new album called Sex Cult? That's interesting. Now, I will say this. We cannot excuse underage the relationships that he has had. He's had underage relationships with the artist Aaliyah. I believe she was 15 years old, and her parents knew, and everybody knew that, you know, they were in a relationship. So this is not, this does seem like it could be a pattern. But I'm not sure that the parents of this young girl is not an opportunist. I want to see, I guess, wait and see if there are any other people who come out and say, you know, that they have been in this sex cult as well. But we'll see what happens. But I will say that being that most of you all know that I was a victim of domestic violence, and you know that there was a time when people knew what was going on, and people said to me, you know, they said about me that, you know, you knew what you were signing up for and you did it anyways. So there are a lot of similarities in that I have heard with this story and some of the things that I've been through personally. So people would say, you know, you knew what you were signing up for when you get married, but that does not negate that there may be abuse. Oh, look at the cute doggy. That does not negate that there may be abuse going on. And yes, you may know that you're being abused and just feel that you should accept it based on the person's status, because he is, you know, he is famous, he has some money, and then we don't really know the whole story. We're only getting the perspective of the parents who the daughter has cut off. So you really don't know the whole story. And then I will say this one thing about a victim of abuse: when they are ready to let go, walk away, they know exactly what to do, and just hope it's not too late. That's all. Most of us know, you know, we know that we're in abusive relationships, know those tendencies, but however, there's nothing that anyone can say or do that will help you, that will make you or convince you to leave. You will not leave until you get good and ready and sick and tired. That's when you will leave. So I kind of wanted to speak on that. And then let's see, author Michael Pearson writes, I'm sorry guys, I'm going way too far down. Says the press conference looked fake, the news source looked bogus, and it was a bit BuzzFeed exclusive. I just don't buy it, but I guess we'll see. Kelly is a very smart man. What better way to create buzz for a new project? I agree. I mean, yes, the dad was suspect too, LaToya. His response was awkward. He was like, I'm only going to take a couple of questions. And I mean, it was just weird. He had this random Bluetooth in his ear, like he was expecting an important phone call. He said he was working with the authorities and the FBI. Has anybody been able to confirm this with the FBI, that there is an active investigation going on into this sex cult or sex slave ring or sex trafficking ring that R. Kelly is accused of? Shalari writes, some people are good at hiding their true intentions. They really, really, really are. Whether that's R. Kelly or the parents or the sister, that's everybody. So yes, a lot of people are guilty of hiding their true intentions, and that it's a sad situation that she's cut off her parents. That's sad. That's unfortunate. However, that does not mean that she is being held against her will. Sometimes when you know you're doing something bad, you just don't want to hear from those people who are telling you, you know, that you need to leave a certain situation. So in order to avoid those conversations, you cut those people off. And I'm sure that's what she's doing. It's just cutting off her parents, her sister, her family, those closest to her, because she does not want to hear, you know, people hear their judgment, and she's not done doing what it is she wants to do. She's not done, and That's the only way to describe it. I don't know if she will ever be done. And that goes for with any victim of abuse. If that is abuse, you never know when someone is wants to, when they want to get out, they will get out. They will seek out help when it's time for them to get out. And I'm just prayerful that she will seek out that help. But we can turn our attention toward, and then there are other types of abuse. There's emotional abuse, and I want to kind of touch on that as well with the whole Kevin Hart situation, and him cheating on his pregnant wife. It's rumored that he was cheating on with his pregnant wife. I can't say for sure that he is. I can't say for sure that he was cheating because maybe it was business. I'm not sure. However, I will say this.
The third person in the car.
Well, that doesn't mean he wasn't a driver. I'm sorry. Terrence is saying there was a third person in the car. But that doesn't mean that there is no cheating going on. I've seen preachers with their adjutants that were cheating on their wives or sneaking around and having relationships with their having relationships with other women out of town. So just because there's a third person, that third person may be the person who is in on the cheating, who's in on the relationship and is not supposed to say anything. So that could have been the driver or a bodyguard or whatever. But those people, when it comes to celebrities, those people are almost invisible. So the fact that there's a third person in the car, that doesn't mean anything to me. The conversation was clearly between Kevin and this young lady. And it was in a hotel parking lot, 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry. I've been in that situation as well. As a wife, as a mother, as someone who's pregnant with your child, it's not seemly to be in that type of situation. Now, because I don't know if it was business, maybe this person is involved in some type of future, I don't know, movie. I'm not sure, but it just seemed awkward for that to occur, for him to be in the car with this woman. They were very close. It did look like they were in the same seat at one point in time. She had her arms up like that, and there's times where you can't see his face and you can't see what exactly is going on. But I will say this: it did not look good. It did not look good. And people define cheating in different ways. So cheating for some people is, being caught in the sexual act. And then for others of us, like me, cheating it starts with communication. It starts with communication. It starts with those late night creeps to talk to somebody else, or during the day creeps to talk to somebody else. It's not necessarily being being caught in the act. Anytime you are giving your emotions, giving your heart, your time, attention to somebody else other than who it's supposed to be directed toward, that is cheating. But what say you? Is that cheating? But I would say that is cheating. It's to give your heart and your thoughts, your ideas, your private moments, and sharing that with someone other than who you're committed to, whether it's your boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, husband, wife. That is cheating. Because it's intimate. You're giving an intimate part of yourself away to somebody else. And for what? Attention? Conversation? When that same energy and time can be spent into putting that into your relationship. So while he's out chilling, hanging out 5 o'clock in the morning with another woman in his car, that time and attention could have been spent with his wife, FaceTiming his wife because apparently he's on some birthday bar tour and she's at home and she's pregnant. So that time could have been spent communicating with his wife, since he's traveling. So, but what say you? Once a cheater, always a cheater? Ooh, I've been missing all y'all's comments. I'm sorry, guys. I'm missing it all. If it doesn't look good, then he shouldn't be in it. And that's right, Ralph. You should not be in it at all. If I get sick and tired of people making excuses for the acts that lead up to cheating. There's no excuse for you to be in the car, on the phone, in somebody's DMs, and that's not who you're committed to. Would you do it if they saw it? And that's the thing that I always try to think about. If I were to be or have conversations with a guy who I know is flirting with me, who I know, I mean, you know, based on conversation, if a man is texting you in the morning, in the evening, first thing in the morning, or last thing at night, saying that, you know, good morning, beautiful, or good night, sweetheart, sweet dreams, or whatever. If somebody is showing that type of interest in you, then you know where that can lead to. Because as soon as you get mad at your spouse, at your boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, whatever, you're going to go to that person and confide in them. That's cheating. There are so many levels to, so trust me, the cheater knows that he or she is cheating. Now, whether or not he or she will admit it is another story. Exactly. They will make excuses that it's not cheating. Oh, we were just talking. Talking about what at 5 o'clock in the morning? What are you talking about? There's not that much conversation in the world to be talking to somebody at 5 o'clock in the morning. If it ain't business, heck, even in business, to me, in my opinion, unless you on Kevin Hart's level, unless you're on that type of level, you should have some type of respectful business hours. I'm sorry. Talking to somebody about business, unless it's maybe email, but it's not something that's like back and forth having business hours. I'm sorry. You're not going to be, that's exactly, Latoya. It's about setting and having boundaries in your relationship. I'm sorry. You should not ever, not ever be having a conversation with a woman, a man, whatever. Now you have to worry about the same sex. But, you know, why? I'm sorry. Excuse me. Michael Pearson writes, I've always defined cheating in this way. We never come into a relationship 100%, meaning our past and the trials of life, I'm going to say, because it says trials, deplete us over time. Some of us are operating at 70, 60, or sometimes less, regardless, ... It's not showing me what the rest of your comment is. Yeah, I'm sorry. If you're not giving 100%, I don't want it.
Speaking of 100%,
What'd you get?
tater tots.
Did you get that burger?
Nope. I got
Say this.
It's 100%.
100% grilled cheese. Is this for me?
Yeah.
Oh, great. So, Ralph writes, then you shut it down off top. As a woman, you know someone is coming at you. And if it's no, you have a man, then it's after hours, and you gotta shut it down, because a man will try you as long as you give him space to. Exactly. And so will women. I'm tired of hearing that. Listen, fellas, listen to your girl. If she's telling you about another woman, listen. She knows women. I don't care what you say or think. She knows women better than you could ever know a woman. And know our intentions better. Because why? We are women and we know our nature. Yes, Ralph, that's right. Ralph said facts. Yes, it is. It's a fact. We know a woman's intentions. I'm sorry. Yeah. But yeah, you gotta shut it down. You gotta shut it down, guys. You know when a woman is, well, some of y'all are a little naive when a woman is flirting with you, because women do it subtly. And that's why I can tell you, as a woman, listen to your woman, because she knows things about other women that you will never know or would never be able to understand. Joyce from Texas writes, I do believe once a cheater, always a cheater. Cheating to me is a sign of immaturity and a form of abuse. Listen, let's go there. Let's go there, Joyce. I'm glad you brought it up. Cheating, yes, it is. It is a form of abuse. It is. It's a form of abuse, emotional abuse. And I will say this. Cheating is not just about you. Men, women who cheat. It's not just about you. Your spouse is having sexual relations with you, unprotected. You're putting their health at risk, not just their emotions. You're putting their health at risk, because condoms don't catch everything. I don't care what type of safe sex you think you're gonna have, but condoms don't catch everything. There are things that you can catch outside of a condom, from skin to skin contact. So, brothers, sisters, if you're gonna cheat, just be single. Just be, exactly, Usher. Just be single. Share this video with somebody. I'm getting hyped. But let's go to the abuse side of cheating. And I'll say this because this directly relates to the whole Nico and Kevin Hart situation. I was pregnant with my last child, and to be honest, I was disappointed that I was even pregnant again, because this is my 5th child. I have been pregnant almost back to back every year for the last 3-4 years, and my ex-husband Al was cheating on me, and I recall him saying he was taking, this was a Saturday, I recall him saying he was taking the twin girls to Cincinnati with him, and he was going to go to church in Cincinnati. Yes, 20 seconds of pleasure can cost you. And he was going to take the twins to Cincinnati. I don't know how I found this out. Oh, sorry. Hold on, guys. Can you get Aisha? He's at the studio, or call him. So, I don't know how I found this out, but I found out that he didn't take the twins to Cincinnati with him. They were actually around the corner over to his cousin's house. And, I mean, mind you, I had dressed them up for church and everything, packed their bags, everything. And nighttime came, and he didn't come home. But I don't know. I found out, I think I had his voicemail passcode or something. And back then, I was a little FBI investigator. I would find out anything I wanted to find out, because some of y'all men are a little slow. Y'all use the same passcode for everything. So back then, you know, you could find stuff out. It wasn't that, you know, you had to go to your phone and, you know, access voicemail through your phone on an iPhone. This was back in the day when it was only, you know, LG and Android type phones. There was no text to voicemail or anything like that. You could just call somebody's number. If they didn't answer, you press star or pound and they ask you to put in the passcode. You put in the passcode and you could listen to voice messages. Well, I did that and found out that he was seeing some girl in Cincinnati. Yeah, I was a private investigator, and my ex he used to say, I think you work for the FBI or something like that. Yes. Thank you, Mario. Got that All Nations on you. So yeah, I found out that he was seeing this lady in Cincinnati. He had come up to Cincinnati to meet her, and I found out all kind of stuff. I don't know. I think I called. It was crazy, but I found out everything I needed to know. Found out that he had met this chick off Black Planet, and he was coming up to Cincinnati to see her. And she worked at the racetrack in Florence, at Turfland racetrack in Florence. It was so much stuff that I found out. It was crazy. Like, she was older, and there was a lot of stuff. And mind you, I'm probably at this point maybe 7-8 months pregnant, big as a house, with a child that I really wasn't expecting to have, and was kind of denying. You know, I was in denial that I was even pregnant until I was about 5 months. But yeah, so I remember, like, once I found that, I was throwing up. Like, it was just, I had this whole physical reaction to finding out that he was cheating on me again. And this continued. Him cheating continued for a long time, and for months, and I thought it was me. And I took that on emotionally, and thought that, you know, maybe I'm not good enough. What am I doing that's wrong? And things like that. But listen, there's nothing that you can do that will stop a man from cheating on you. If he wants to cheat, he's gonna cheat. And when you find out that he's cheating, just be prepared to handle it. Now, whether that's leaving or not, staying, trying to work it out. Because let's say this. Let me stop here and give a little disclaimer. I personally don't believe once a cheater, always a cheater. I believe people can change. And I think that depending on the situation and how many times it's happened, you should give the person a chance to prove themselves. If it is something that they are willing to work on, if they're willing to go to counseling, if they're willing to work on the relationship, work on themselves, and understand the gravity of what cheating actually is, on what it does to the relationship, the trust, the emotions, the hurt, and kind of trying to rebuild that thing back together. If you're willing to put in the work, then I think you should work it out. But if the person's not willing to put in the work to work it out, if they're not willing to go through that period of time where they're being questioned about their every move, because that's another thing that people fail to realize about cheating. You can ask the person to forgive you, say that you want to work it out. You can do all of those things. You can do all of that. However, if that person is not willing to go through the period of time that you will go through in the relationship, where you are going to question their every move, you're going to want to know who they're talking to. You're going to want to know who they're with. And if they can't go through that, if they can't stand that, because you're going to go through that. And just because somebody is asking you what you're doing, where you're going, who you're with, just because somebody is asking those questions, it does not mean that they are insecure. It does not mean that they are insecure. It means that they are protecting their hearts, which, as their spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, whomever, should have been doing anyway. So, you'll have to rebuild that trust again. Starting, you're going to be in the negative in the trust bank. Let's just say that. Because I believe that we all trust people. We all give people our trust freely until they do something to lose it. We all give people our trust freely until they do something to lose it. And once they've done what they've done to lose it, you've got to protect your heart. So, cheating is not the end all be all of a relationship. I do not believe that. Latoya writes, protecting their heart as well as protecting their investment in the relationship. Exactly. You're protecting your investment. And a lot of times we invest ourselves in people who, in a person's potential. Thanks, Mario. We invest ourselves in a person's potential. And, which, you know, and potentially these people can hurt us. And we know that. But that's what love is. Love is about being vulnerable. Love is about sometimes, that's a chapter in my book. Love is about losing sometimes. You will lose a love. You will put your time, energy, heart, trust, feelings, money, emotions, body into a relationship, and sometimes you lose. Sometimes you lose. It happens. Like I'm about to lose these tater tots because Terrence is about to eat them. Sharon. I hate sharing. When you have kids, it's just sharing with somebody else. It's just like somebody else is always asking for your stuff. But that's the same way Mario writes, protect your sanity as well. It's important to make sure you are even willing to give your heart back to the one who mismanaged it. Otherwise, move on, because in order for it to work, it will require work on both parts. Exactly, Mario. Exactly. You have to find out if it's worth the investment. Is staying with this person worth the investment? Are they willing to change? And are they willing to do the work? Are they willing to do the work? So we got some people that's just joining us. Share this video with your Facebook family, friends. Yeah, so we've been talking about the R. Kelly situation, talking about the Kevin Hart situation, talking about, you know, once a cheater, always a cheater. Do you really believe that? Can people change? Can they rehabilitate? And I believe, based on, you know, my belief and faith, my faith, that people can change. People can change. They just have to want to change. There's no prayer line. There's not enough anointing oil that can make somebody change. Okay? They can go to a service or whatever and still pick up those same old habits that they once said they wanted to change from. Most change begins with a decision. You can't say, I don't want to cheat on you anymore, or I'm sorry, or whatever, and then keep hanging around the same or doing the same thing. Can't be hitting these chicks up in the inbox, in the DMs. Can't be sliding your number. One can change. I did, because I had to evaluate and protect my investment too. Exactly. What's the point? Oh, go ahead. No, you're fine. What's the point in spending your time, energy, money, dating, marriage, weddings, children? What's the point in doing that if you're willing to risk it all for the satisfaction that you may get from somebody else? It's not worth it. And once you change, I don't put cheating past anybody, but there are certain character traits of cheaters. There are certain character traits. So you just have to be willing. You just have to be willing to change and make those decisions and make better choices. You can't be, if you're in a relationship with somebody, what are you doing hanging around somebody at work or going to lunch with your coworker, or sliding them your phone number and texting them all hours of the night, or doing business with somebody who's clearly has other intentions. You have to protect your investment, and all money ain't good money. Latoya said it better not. So I don't know what she's responding to. But yeah, let's see. Sometimes you gotta lose to win, Ralph. That's right. Sometimes you do. Sometimes, you know, if you're not getting what you need and they not giving what you deserve, sometimes it's better to just walk away. You deserve better. Your heart deserves better. Your mind, your intellect deserves better. You know better than to just be cool with somebody cheating on you. You're really willing to risk your life for somebody to do you wrong, because that's really what's happening. You're risking your life, your health. There's so many women who have contracted the HIV virus from their husbands because their husbands are cheating on them with men. Yeah, we got some down low brothers who get married to cover up. What about them? It goes, Bill Cosby is with him. Bill Cosby's with who? With Kevin Hart and R. Kelly? I guess you could bridge that. If he actively cheated on his wife with these women who are now claiming that he sexually assaulted them. I guess you could say that, if he did it. Mario, if we spent more time in conversation and less time expecting and assuming we could get what we need from the other, we are often too lazy and it seems easier to get it the sneaky way. I agree. And that's one thing that I am not shy about. I used to be, but I found myself hurt or in my feelings because I had not communicated my expectations. So communicate your expectations. Mario's right. Communicate what you expect from the other person. If you need attention, tell that person who you're committed to. Tell them. Why not? Why not tell them? Aren't they responsible for it? And I'm not saying that person is responsible to make you happy, but you shouldn't be in a relationship and be miserable. You shouldn't be in a relationship with somebody who's emotionally unavailable. You shouldn't. You deserve better than that. I know we've seen relationships, marriages where, you know, the people live separate lives. Some of us grew up in those type of households where, you know, your mom did one thing and dad did another. You rarely saw them ever do anything together. You rarely saw them touch each other. You rarely saw them talk to one another. That doesn't mean that that's okay. Right. I expect you to not cheat regardless. Oh, speaking of, that's like Kirk Frost and Rashida. We're going to reality TV, I guess, now. Kirk Frost and Rashida been together, been married for years. And he cheated on her with some girl from the strip club because he said his wife was working too much, when all he had to do in the first place was communicate. I tell my wife in a minute, hey girl, I'm on my way, I need a little something. Listen, and we respect that. But listen, Ralph says, if I feel I gotta cheat, I'd rather leave. And that's the truth. I wish more people were upstanding and honest like that. But see, what happens is we want both. We want to keep that relationship, but we want a little something on the side. We want a little something on the side too. We want a little something. It's something about that. I don't know. Is there a certain high that you get to cheating? Is there a high that people get? Yeah, I believe so. But do you see how being loyal, she was loyal to him. She just got caught up in working a lot, building with him, probably trying to keep up with him. Kirk, yes. And then, you know, she has her own goals and aspirations, opened up her store, doing things on her own, and you want to get caught up with some $2 trick? If you want something on the, listen, you want to see other people, let me know. Let me change my hair, change my makeup, change my clothes, do something. I can show you somebody else. I can be somebody else for you, if that's what you want. But be honest. Throw on a wig. We can go get some things. But be honest. For real. Be honest. So it's no excuse for a married man to be out 5 o'clock in the morning with some woman in his car. I don't care who else was in the car with him. Let me pull up. We got problems. I ain't got problems with her. I'll have problems with my man. You know better. You really do. You know better. So, we're gonna wrap this thing up. Oh, Ralph, guess what? You know the kind of man you're dealing with. You know the kind of man you deal, especially with if he's been with multiple. If it's been multiple occasions, some women will make excuses for the man. They just don't want to let go. That fear factor, and there is a fear factor. There's a fear of the unknown. Am I gonna be desirable to somebody else? That's always a big fear. Just to be honest, that is a big fear for women. And our fear is wasting our time. Well, he's logging off. I'm going to get it now. Love y'all. Yeah, we get a wig and go get some, platform pumps or whatever else you got to do. Do your thing. So, yeah, you guys are going to see me out and about. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Tiffany Michelle TV. And we're going to see you every Thursday night. We'll also be doing stuff randomly as well. We'll be doing some random stuff. I am also interviewing for Fashion Forward Cincy. I will be at several events coming up. Yes, Sharon, you missed it, so you got to go back and watch it. Share it with your friends. It was a great discussion. Thank you, Latoya. Thank you for your hard work. You all give Latoya some likes. She helps me behind the scenes. Ralph, thank you so much for tuning in. He's off to the strip club. He got to go find him a piece of meat. No. So, yeah. I just want to thank you all for tuning in and supporting. This has been a journey. But we're going to continue to do this. Some things didn't play out quite right. And I just want to thank everybody for continuing to follow me. I want to keep bringing you good, great content, great quality guests. We'll be on location as we are tonight. And yeah, so we got some things coming up. Like I said, we'll be interviewing for Fashion Forward Cincy. We will be just got our press passes for a big conference with some celebrity artists, and fingers crossed we can get some interviews with Fetty Wap, T-Pain, here coming up soon, and some other people, several designers for Fashion Forward Cincy, and then also be doing some vlogging for some ladies who are hosting events in the city. If you have questions, would like to be a sponsor, or have show topic ideas, or have would like to be a guest, I do take everything into consideration. Please email me at tiffanymichellespeaks@gmail.com. Email me, tiffanymichellespeaks@gmail.com, or fill out the contact form on www.tiffanymichellespeaks.com. Subscribe to my new YouTube channel. I'll have some great content on there for you as well, and everything from here will be posted on YouTube. Latoya said, no raw meat. Your stomach matters. Your stomach, your health, everything, it matters. So if you are just tuning in, go back, watch it from the beginning, and share this with your friends, family, foes, whoever. Let's get something else on our timelines besides all of the rigmarole with OJ and Trump and these church preachers. All right, so I will see you all next Thursday for sure, and I hope you all have a good night. Don't forget, your voice is your most valuable gift.